All right, so most of us are probably going to be coming here from the last video, which was examples 644 and 645. So if you want to, go ahead and start off with this try it. Solve 169x squared is equal to 49. All right, so go ahead and pause your video if you want to give that a shot. All right, hopefully you paused and tried solving it yourself first, but here we go. So first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to get 49 over by the 169x squared, okay, because we want this thing to be set equal to 0, so I'm going to subtract 49. And I got 169x squared is equal to 0. Oh, mistake. 169x squared minus 49 is equal to 0. That's more like it. All right, and now hopefully recognize that these are both perfect squares. Okay, so can't I just take the square root of each one? So let's do that over here. So we'll do the square root of 169x squared, and that's going to give us 13x. All right, and square root of positive 49. We're not dealing with square root of negatives yet. Square root of positive 49 gives me 7. So we can make our answer using these two numbers. So let's do that. Well, not our answer, but we can factor using these two numbers. So we go ahead, we make our parentheses. Okay. And from here, let's just put in our 13x and our 7. 13x and our 7. Okay. And now the crucial thing here, so we know our 7s need to multiply to be negative 49. So we know definitely one of them needs to be a negative. And from there, you could see one needs to be a positive because a positive times a negative. So a positive times a negative would give us a negative. So negative 49, that's what we need. Also, notice there's no middle term. So when there's no middle term, there's no x term. No x term. Our signs are alternating. So we have a plus, we have a minus. All is right in the world. Okay, and from here you would solve each one. So 13x plus 7 is equal to 0. Let's subtract 7. 13x is equal to negative 7. Divide by 13. And you've got x is equal to negative 7 over 13 over here. 13x minus 7 is equal to 0. Add 7. 13x is equal to 7. And now divide by 13. 7 over 13. So now mathematicians are lazy, okay? So final answer is going to be x is equal to plus or minus 7 over 13. So if you plug in positive 7/13 or negative 7/13 to this equation, you're going to end up with 0. All right, so let's move on to example 647. Example 647. I'm going to give myself more room for this one. So, example 647, we are solving 3x minus 8 times x minus 1 is equal to 0. Nope. Sorry. It's equal to 3x. Equal to 3x. All right, long day, long day. So here, notice this is not 0. So we need to get this to 0. But we can't just subtract 3x. We cannot do that. All right? Because we're going to create a mess. We're going to create a mess. So what we actually need to do, since this is factored, we need to unfactor it. All right? So we do that by expanding this. So we're going to go ahead and expand this. We're going to do the multiplication. We'll end up with 3x squared minus 3x minus 8x plus 8, which is equal to 3x. Okay, this becomes 3x squared minus 11x plus 8 equals 3x. Now we can subtract our 3x over because it's very clear what's going to happen when we do that now. Over here, there wasn't much that was going to happen. Now we can do it. We end up with 3x squared minus 14x plus 8, which is equal to 0. Now from here, we can just use our AC method. So we have our 3 times our 8. This gives us 24. So we have two numbers that multiply to be 24, but add to be negative 14. Add to be negative 14. So let's just try it. So, 2 and 12. They got to be negative. Well, let's try negative 2 and positive 12. Why not? Do those even multiply to be negative 24 or 24? No, they don't. But now I can see negative 2 and negative 12 might. They do, in fact, multiply to be 24. All right. And then negative 2 plus negative 12 is negative 14. So we've got our numbers. We can come over here, break this up using those numbers. So 3x squared, and we'll say minus 12x minus 2x plus 8 equals 0. All right, so these have 3x in common, and we end up with x minus 4. These two, negative 2x plus 8, they've got, we'll take out a negative 2. And things should work out for us. They do. These are matching. That's what we want. That's what we need. So we've got 3x minus 2 times x minus 4 equals 0. And now we're just going to solve for 0 each piece. So we got 3x minus 2 equals 0. Add our 2 over. Divide by 3. And we end up with x is equal to 2/3 over here. X is just equal to 4. So our final answer, 2/3 is smaller than 4. So there you go. We're going to do one more example here. One more example. All right, and then you'll be prepared for every homework problem. All right, going to be a little challenging. Don't have much room, but it's a quick one. So we're going to solve 3x squared is equal to 12x plus 63. Okay, so our first step, let's rearrange this. Okay, so we're going to move over our 12x and our 63, so we subtract both of those. So I'm going to do that in one step. 3x squared minus 12x minus 63 is equal to 0. From here, I'm going to see, I notice 3, 12, and 63, they've got a number in common. Go ahead, pause your video, see if you can see that number. All right, hopefully you gave it a shot. It's actually a 3. They're all divisible by 3. So we've got 3. And in the inside, we've got an x squared minus 4x and minus 21. And that is all going to be equal to 0. Okay. And now this looks like something we know how to factor. So we need two numbers that multiply to be negative 21, add to be negative 4. All right. And just looking at this, so we've got negative 7, positive 3. Those add to be negative 4. Those are our numbers. And since we didn't use the AC method, we can jump to our answer. So keep our 3. We've got an x minus 7 and an x plus 3. Those are all still equal to 0. From here, set each piece of these equal to 0. But here's the thing. So notice on this one, we've got 3 pieces. We've got 3 pieces. All right. So let's do the first 2 and we'll get to 3 last. So, or we'll do these 2 first, we'll get to 3 last. So x minus 7 equals 0. Well, that's just x equals 7. The other one, x plus 3 equal to 0, x equals negative 3. So there's our 2 solutions. What about 3? Do we have to worry about this part? Well, can 3 ever equal 0? No. So since 3 cannot equal 0, all right, we don't need to worry about it. It is not one of our solutions. Okay, even though it is a piece, it's a piece of this equation. We don't worry about it. It's a constant. It will never equal 0. So here's our solutions. So our final answer is x equals negative 3 and 7. You plug these in back into here, all right, you will get 0.